And under our rules of ethics, we are allowed to come forward and correct mistakes that have been made in a case. And that's what we're here to do today.
Well, tonight at 2 News Investigates exclusive, the attorneys for Kouri Richins speaking out only to our Wendy Halloran.
They're upset about things they say are just not true that have been in the media about their client for years, and now they say the prosecution has done nothing to correct them.
And Wendy joins us live right now. Wendy, how rare is this?
Well, Mark and Heidi, it is practically unheard of. Kouri Richins is set to stand trial in February, accused of murdering her husband. But her attorneys say false narratives will make it very hard to find an objective jury. So they made the decision to come forward and talk exclusively to me. In an unprecedented move,
Look, I never thought I would be sitting here.
Kouri Richins' attorneys
She is distraught. She is heartbroken.
reached out to 2 News Investigates and me exclusively
I mean, we have a lot of confidence in you.
to set the record straight.
If their goal is justice, they have not lived up to it, at least in this case.
We're there to protect our client's rights. We're there to make sure our client gets a fair trial.
Their client is Kouri Richins, a chemist mom accused of murdering her husband in 2022. The reason they say they're coming forward, false narratives that have been in the media about Kouri for years.
I do think the prosecution has declined to correct false information that has come out in the media, and we've waited and hoped that that would occur, and it never has.
Because of that, all three say they have an obligation to speak up.
We have to make sure that when we step in there in February, that we have leveled the playing field, and we can't just hope for that.
There are 4 points the team says are not true. First,
the narrative is that your client is the Moscow Mule murderer. Is that accurate?
The prosecution has never told us their theory. They have never said that it was given in a Moscow Mule.
so where did that come from?
That came up because there was discussions, and I believe a statement by Ms. Richins early on, that she and her husband had drank a Moscow Mule before dinner. So that was something that was just grabbed onto. It's sexy, it's interesting, the Moscow Mule murderer, but the prosecution has never said that that is their theory of the case, not once.
Second, Kouri Richins' Google searches of how much fentanyl does it take to kill someone. Lewis says she Googled it after Eric died, not before.
She's told, your husband died of fentanyl poisoning, and she's looking, well, what does this mean? How much fentanyl would someone have to take to die of fentanyl poisoning? That's a very, very different narrative than to leave it out there that, oh, the Moscow Mule murderer Googled how much fentanyl does it take to kill someone. No, that's not what happened.
Third, Nestor says media reports have depicted Kouri and her business as being desperate financially, saying she was in total financial collapse. But Nestor says they're ignoring her main assets.
Utterly failed to take into consideration a huge piece of property that she obtained 3 days after, or 2 days after her husband passed away. And that's removed from all of the state's calculations. So the equity in that house alone, the value of that one piece of property was enough to cover any debt that she had in her business.
Fourth, life insurance policies.
Well, another one that's out there's false is that she took out hundreds of thousands of dollars in life insurance on him shortly before he died. That's not true.
Lewis said that Kouri sent in an offer she received in the mail for life insurance for her and her husband for $100,000.
She sent that in about a month before he died, 4 or 5 weeks before he died. All the rest of his life insurance, and he had a lot of life insurance, was all taken out by him long before that.
Ultimately, the lawyers say they're concerned about these false narratives and the fact prosecutors have done nothing to correct them.
I feel that when I see these narratives come out, it becomes a game. It becomes another line, and we forget that there's somebody on the end of that, and that's a client. That's a human. That's a mother.
We believe that she's innocent, and the rest will come out during the trial.
Now, I asked Summit County Attorney Margaret Olson and Chief Prosecutor Brad Bloodworth for an on-camera interview for this report. I received the following statement on Friday, quote, "We are aware of the recent filings submitted by the defense. We will address all matters related to this case through the legal process rather than in the media. Our formal response will be part of the public record next week. We ask that this comment be included in your report to ensure our position is accurately represented and the reporting remains balanced. Mark and Heidi.